A group of mothers in Surrey is taking the county council to court over what they say is an unlawful £21 million cut to the special needs education budget. If they win, it will be the biggest budget cut of its kind to be overturned in court.
Now, the parents are arguing that the schooling of more than 7,000 of the county's most vulnerable children is at risk. They've been speaking to our reporter Karen Morrison.
You might not know this, but I'm very cheeky.
Driving, happy and focused. But it wasn't always this way for 8-year-old Jonathan.
Very violent, very aggressive, very angry. On a number of occasions he completely trashed the classroom where they weren't able to use it for the rest of the day. We got to the point where he was only doing an hour a day at school, so we were having to juggle our jobs and try and sort of manage him and work.
Jonathan was born with a chromosome defect, which meant his brain did not develop as it should have done.
Jonathan couldn't go back to mainstream school. I think he'd fall to pieces. He can't cope with people, that sort of quantity of people. He can't cope with the hustle and bustle and the noise, and it just wouldn't work. I don't believe it would work.
Surrey announced controversial funding cuts earlier this year, and this is why a group of mums have joined forces to take the council to court. But the council, like others around the country, says it's facing unprecedented demands on its budget. Just this week, Northamptonshire, which faces a funding shortfall of about £70 million, issued 2 notices banning all new spending this year. Earlier this month, East Sussex announced plans to cut services back to the bare legal minimum. And now Surrey Council has a £105 million budget gap for the next year. That's more than 12% of its current budget.
No ifs, no buts.
Earlier this month, a group of parents won a landmark case against Bristol Council's £5 million cut to the special needs budget.
Certainly Bristol is a very helpful judgment. In that case, the judge found that Bristol should have consulted at the time of setting its budget. And so we are hoping that judgment will be helpful to our claimants in our case.
Surrey Council says its main focus is making sure children get the support that they need. It's a David and Goliath battle, but one the parents are prepared for. That's why they'll be at the High Court on 2nd of October. Karen Morrison, BBC South East Today, South Godstone.
I'll be back with the update at 10:30, so I'll see you a little bit later on this evening.
Yeah, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.